Shanti, Shanti,
Days of the week in French.
Here's a summary from the French experiment. Majority of Louis, Marty, Mercury, Billy, is ready, Sandy, and Renee.
Okay, in one more minute, we're going to begin. I'm never really sure where I'm going to begin. Never really sure what I'm going to start with. Just going to lower the music just a little bit. Maybe we'll change the camera position. That's my hand in the middle. So that's the brick wall. Another brick on the wall. Oh, if I can fix this camera properly. There you go. Wasn't really sure what to do today, where I should begin. I did a few shorts today. I was going to go over what I meant and what I said. I was talking about, let me back up my paperwork here. Let me see how far back I can go. There's so many, just so many connections everywhere. I was talking about tin and silver and bronze and gold. First, let me explain what I do without losing my place. Usually when I'm on a trend of thought, I don't like to leave the path because I can see where I'm going next. And once I stop, the trend of path just seems to like, and I just branch off everywhere. I want to really understand how the alphabet was created, how every sound was created. And obviously I cannot do this alone. I go online and I do research. I look up weights and measures. I look up periodic table. I look up sports and their games, how they are made, how things are made, what you see, what you don't see, how you can see things a little bit different. Like when I look at this and this and I hold this, I see 7913 with the 5 dot in the center where 2, 4, 6, and 8 are not there, knowing that there's 9 for 9 and this is all in a bundle. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it on the screen, you see it as one item. When you get it, it's the full item that moves, right? It's not just a picture. So they're all the same. They all say the same thing. Well, then if you replace the number with a letter in the alphabet, for instance, since you can't have all the letters in the alphabet on 6 numbers, can you or can't you? Well, you actually can, because there's a reverse alphabet. So if there's a reverse alphabet, what you actually get in the reverse alphabet is what I call the gematria scale. And that's when you count up to 7 and down to 1. So you would say, well, where is the 7 on the cube? Well, there's 2 7s on this cube. There's the integrated 7. This 1 here and the 6 here is the only true 7 that if I should, when I drill holes through this, those are the only ones you're going to see. You're going to see 7 and 7 with drilled holes, right? If I drill this one right through, it'll come out in the center. And the same thing goes for the 3, and the same thing goes for the 5. And what's ironic about that is 1, 3, 5 is the letter A, the letter C, and the letter E. It says ace. On purpose? Is it on purpose? See the heart on my cat's back? You think that was done on purpose? You think it's also done on purpose that the word sun, S1, U21 equals to 3, and N14, 1 plus 4 equals to 5? ACE for sun, ACE for ace. Now we have to look at the artwork of the ace. We have to understand a geometric scaling, the artwork that goes along with understanding the geometric design. Understanding that you can put 2 triangles, you see you get 2 of them and you move one house into the other house. And then you leave an empty space in the house. You have one house here and then one house here. And then between these 2 houses, you rise and you live in between the 2. That's one of the scales. The other scale is this piece of art. Let me see. I can just draw it up fresh right now. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? So one of the other ones is this one. Did I draw it out already? You know, I make all these shorts because I have it on the top of my head and I just can't design it all out. Let me see where we are. Yes, here it is. You see, here's one triangle. See the way, see, this is wrong. This is not the triangle I want, right? And I still have to understand the angle of this triangle versus the perfect 45 degrees not going out of my area space, right? I'm trying to see if I can get this a little bit more. Hold on a second. Okay, so I want to understand. Oh, I hate when things are not straight. So we have these 2 triangles here, like the Bank of Montreal has sort of this. And what this is it's 2 individual triangles, right? 2 individual triangles. And what I did is they moved them on top of each other, right? And I moved them on top of each other. When I do that in its simple form, I create this, right? Almost looks like the teepee. At the same time, it can look like Pharaoh with a whip on each side, but you can't see it in the small design. Here, it looks like what is a bee. But if you extend the legs, then you get A from what will be, whoop, did I get this right? Yes. You'll get A, and then you're going to create a house over here. And then you're going to have two razors over here. I'm not really sure what it's going to look like. Maybe a mustache. I know I shouldn't design it on top of each other. Then over here, I brought my two pyramids together. I don't want to mix you up. It's hard to do. But anyways, I put a diamond head because it's shaped like a diamond between the two. There's 6 that creates the body over here. 77 comes in to connect to both sides. You know, 77 is matter. 77 is Christ. It also equals to what is 11. So you put the diamond head on top. So diamond and head. It's ironic that head equals to 18, part of the sun. The two of them together create 78, which is G and H, Heaven's Gate. It is the T section because it's a split between 2. So anyways, I'm a little off the subject. I also went over today. Let me see if I'm going to lose where I was. 1 second. Let me see where I was. Where was I? What was I talking about to start with? Just give me a second. Let me look back. Let me look back at where I was before I went over there and started off on another trail. You know what's funny, and I'm going to go off on another trail. When you're born, you enter the birth head first coming out. And when you're laid to rest, the expression, now remember, it's the expression, right? The expression. They bury you 6 feet down, although you only have 2 feet. Must mean they're burying 3 people, right? They bury you 6 feet down, 6 feet down. I got 2 legs, 6 feet, 3 people, 2 legs each, 6 feet, 6 feet go down. Now, since you got 6 feet, you now have 30 and 30. You would now have 3 left feet and 3 right feet, 5 toes and 5 toes. So you have 15 and 15. And what do? When you play tennis, you get 15, 15. You have quarters in certain sports of 15 minutes, all representing what is Mars. So they put you 6 feet down because you were created in 6 feet. To the one light, 6 and 1, the touchdown, where God rests on the extra point. God rests on the extra point, kicking it through the uprights. Uprights. Remember, right, left, wrong, red, blue. All of these things come to connect, and that's where I want to maybe start talking about. I'm going to try and remind me to talk about silver, copper, and gold. Silver, copper, and gold. I'm going to get, that's where I was. I just want to read, Tammy wrote, No, you can ask the questions. I can get into this. You want to ask questions right now? Go ahead. Just go ahead, and I know exactly where I am. I don't have anything planned, but it's here in front of me. I see it all. You know, there's so many equations that bring everything together. Equations that are man-made, but it doesn't matter. If we're in the image of God, right? You put all the gum into a gum machine, and all that gum is coming out. Nothing different is coming out. It's that gum coming out of the machine. You know what I'm saying? That gum is coming out. Doesn't matter which ball you get. If we're made in the image and all the gum was made in the image, then everything has already been, you know what I'm saying? Okay, long time subscriber and definitely believe everything about numbers. Show your chart. Let me read this over here. A long time subscriber and definitely believe everything about numbers. I saw your short about casino and dice and have been trying to figure out how to beat the games and sports betting using numbers. How do you do it? Okay. Number one, what I believe about all of this, my interpretation, my understanding is just what I think, and I can be definitely wrong. I think fate has a lot to do with it. I believe that when you push something with your decisions, you're moving something else. You're changing the path. They say gambling shouldn't be done for more than what is 210 minutes. Once you pass 210 minutes, you're into skeptical, where your mind starts to play tricks on you. and usually sequences won't go more than usually 3 hours. And when you look at it, 3 hours is 180 degrees, half for you, half for them. When you're changing your destiny, when you can read. The airplane, when it takes off, it goes into the wind. So you always want to have that pressure in your thoughts. You don't want to be too much free flowing because then you're throwing everything away. Then you have to look for sequences, and you have to follow whatever is going on. And then you have to know good luck and bad luck means you're not lucky today because you shouldn't be where you are. Secondly, if you're spending too much time, there's not enough time in this allotted to be able to do that, because it's already the greatest gamble in life is trying to make a choice, a choice that will, if you're going out and you're going to have a good time, or you're making it a lifestyle. So you have to know everything that's going along with it. And another thing is it's already shown to you all the expressions. Life is a crapshoot. You get a deck of cards. Now, these are new decks of cards. I prefer the old ones. And in here, what happened to my jokers? I need the jokers. I'm missing cards. I don't believe it. I'm missing some cards. We even got a bunch of dice and the little men. Got some men here. So I'm missing cards. Missing cards. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna go get another pack. Just give me a second. They're not magical cards. Notice they mark it with a spade, right? Notice the spade is made up of one side and the other side, and in between is the link between the two. How does a light bulb work? I don't know. This is a woman in here. At least it looks like a woman. I'm not really sure. A woman represents 8. Not because I want it to. It's because what the deck of cards have told me, the division between night and day. We're going to have to remind me to talk about the Queen of Spades. The Queen of Spades, the numeric value for Queen is 62. 6 and 2 is 8. The Queen is the only suit in the deck where the Queen has 2 eyes. So if I go to all the queens, I don't want to forget. Okay, I started with the deck. I just want to say really quick that in the deck, there used to be 52 cards per suit, and there still are. And we have to cut the spade. Spade is number 45. Ironic. A spade and a heart look the same. The spade is 45. The heart is 52. Remember that. Heart is 52. Spade is 45, equaling to 107, 10 and 7, which is a mathematical equation of 5 times 2, 5 plus 2, equaling to 17. And there's other ways to get to 17. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8, 9 and 8 equals 17. 8 times 8 is 64. 6 and 4 is 1. 8 plus 8 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. 1 and 7 bring the equation together. Long-time subscriber, actually not doing well with this heat wave and no power. La will be okay. Get yourself a wet cloth. You have no power, right? So get yourself a cold cloth and just put your feet in a little tub of water and one around you. And well, if you have no electric, I don't know how you're watching this, but hope everything is well. You're in Arizona. I know it gets hot out there. What's going on right now? What's going on? Herbert Hoover Dam 88, Las Vegas, all the power, all the energy, new games coming into town where all the numbers hover, where everybody gets married on Mars. And when the waters break, as they've showed up in Walt Disney movies, they took Hoover Dam down in the Disney movies. Here's the king. Take a look. It says Bob on the tombstone, or is that 808? The queen has all 8 eyes. I just wanted to show you from this card. Wow, again, I'm missing those 2 cards again. I'm missing. Oh, here it is. They changed it. They used to put a poker card, and they used to say whether pairs were higher or lower. Now they just put can't remember the rules. Okay, but it's can't remember the rules. Learn the rules to over 75 classic and new card games, and check out the free app at www.bicyclecards.com. Notice the king, his cap is almost like the jack. His head is slightly tilted, right? And it's a hexagon. Here's a queen, and here's a queen. See the hat? 45-degree angle. Fox 45. Diamond is 60. Heart is 52. There's an 8 different. There's a heaven of difference. You notice one is a red line going across. The other one is the soul. The heart is showing the soul. They also all hold flowers. If you notice, both of these are looking to, I think it's the left, but they're holding flowers in the opposite hands. And in this one over here, you can see almost the same design as the Greek or the Mayans, okay? You can also see inside of here what's going on. I think that's the different kinds of flowers. Anyways, I'm not going to get into the flowers. I haven't studied them, and I think I just switched the decks. So what happens is the queen, all the queens have 2 eyes. They have 2 eyes above and 2 eyes below. That's 8 and 8 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. They are the gate, 7 and 8. They have 8. Now, when you come to the jack is life, because there's 2 jacks with 1 eye each. So that makes 2 and 2, and you can see rotation of 5 and 2 inside its heart as the soul goes up. You see these dots? I look at these dots as being eye or a flow of something. But I like to look at his eye because there's a dot on top of the eye, but you can take it also, okay, for what is the flow of Mars. We have to look at it as the flow of Mars, and I take it because I look at Mars as a dot and Earth as a line. And the reason I do it that way is because Mars is total value, MARS 13, 1, 18, and 19, as per each letter position in the alphabet, equals to 51, 57 reverse, meaning if you switch around the alphabet, the leftover numbers for each letter becomes number 27. Each letter becomes 27, the alphabet reverse, 2 letters. So if it's A and Z, it's 27, B and Y, it's 27, C and X is 27, and D and W, where the alphabet splits, right? C and W, the alphabet splits. Unless you're looking at it as days of the week, there's many ways to look at the split of the alphabet and understanding numbers, because the split of the week is 3 days and 1 day and 3 days. But God was supposed to have the 1 day of rest. So now we have an extra day in the week. We have the extra day because everything now it works on 3.5 instead of on 3. So we're working that 0.5. Something's involved in the center. Something is being shared. Where 1 is being shared, it's 0.5 each. They didn't divide a whole space. Mars divides a whole space. But with Earth, the center space, okay, it has a box around it. And if we would be looking at the dartboard, it would be 50 into the center. That would be red. And then you would have the green, and that would be 25. And right away, that would be Earth and the moon, electric moon. Why? Why? Where? Where do I get this from? The 5 for 50, and it's red. Plus the 25 is 75. The numeric value for electric is 75. The numeric value for moon is 57, 57, 75. And it's just so ironic, okay? It's ironic that 5775 over 5,775 years not using the leap system, there are 75,075 moons. That's incredible. Not only that, we talk about 12. 7 and 5 is 12. 7 and 5 is 12. We now have 12, 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 1 and 2 is 3. We now have 33 to command in the creation of the Christ or the credit card. Anyways, we were talking about, I said Mars, marriage, number 88. That was back doing the 8 thing. The days of the week, yes. So there's 7 days a week. So the Wednesday now becomes the split day because of the added day, if you want to look at it that way. Now, there's also designs in games that show you whether or not there's a square in the center or there's no square in the center. 4, 8, 12, 20, 4, 8, 12, 20, 28. So in the Mars window, where man resides, where man comes out, okay, at number 28. Where do I get this from? Mars is 51. Let's mark it V1. Oh, yeah, I was talking about silver. I'm going to go back to that. Earth is 52. I mark it V11. So when I create Mars, I have 1 line. When I create Earth, I have 2 lines. So to do that, I can just create the window, and I have 1 line that way. I can have 1 line that way. Now, when I create Earth, right, I'm going to actually be creating either 2 lines this way or 2 lines this way. I'm not going to talk about the lines that box it in, right? So here you have 4 areas. Here you have 9. Mars is the 4th planet, and then we are in the 9th of birth. Notice 1 and 2 alpha beta that comes together for creation. You cannot split this here. You can either do this or you can do this. That's the only way you can do it to go down. You must follow the rules. Here is a dot, an area here, a line. It creates a window. It creates the pound. But in order to create this for the minimum size, you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 9 dots. In this one, you have 16. So here you would have DI, and here you would have PI, like pi. Also, you'd have 3 and 4 to the power. And it's ironic that in the house of DC, that's 3 and 4, 4 and 3. I'm not going to say dog and cat, you know. I'm not going to say dog and cat for 3 and 4. And also D for 4 and C for cat. And the same thing that dog is number 26 and cat is number 24. 6 and 2, 8, 2 and 4, 6, which comes out to 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals 6 and 8. Well, house equals 68 and LAN at equals 68. You know, when ET10 comes as the mirror world in LAN, which is our communication, it's our 1-6 communication. It comes from PK. The reverse of P is K, and K is the beginning of your creation, 11. Now, maybe you're thinking I'm all over the place because I am a little bit, and I have to do this. There's so many things that come out, you know, the tree grows, the seed sprouts, the tree grows, and it just keeps changing its skin. So when you have the K11, right, I'm just trying to think there's, like, I don't want to go where your creation is J11. Man, there's 3 things going on right now. Yes, what you have is DC, right? The house of DC. And not only that, you have cold and you have hot. You have 34 cold, you have 43 hot, right? Which creates 77, which creates 49 and 14 equaling to 63. Now the word 11 equals 63. And the student comes out here. And this ending of this word over here is to say Friday in French. And now you have 9, 11 coming together from this expression. When you create 77, it equals to 63. The value of 11 is 63. 9, 11 comes out in the word itself. At the same time, this is not only 63. We're going to eliminate 15 for the repeat of the vowels. We're just going to go L, V, and N over here. 34. Did I get this right? 22, 32, 33, 34, 44, 48. Did you know the word sun, okay, is number 48? To buy, to sell, the ring and the pull is all number 48. At the same time, this becomes 4 and 5, which could be the spade coming under the dark rule. It's not 54 because then that would be the sun. That would be the heart is number 52. I think I made a mistake in one of my videos today. The heart is 52. I wrote Queen of Hearts, right? And I think I wrote also the spade and the club. The club is 38. The spade is 48. The queen is 62. So when you have queen and spade, you had 11. No, that's wrong. Going too fast. Going too fast. I don't want to get into that. I'm jumping over. And here you have 104. With the heart, you get 104. With the spade, you get 107. With the club, you actually get 91. You get the spirit. The queen and the club creates spirit. And the deck of cards, 13 by 7, 13 cards by 7 equals to 91. When you add up 1 over to 13 added, it equals to 91. But when 1 and 3 equals to 4, right? And 1 times, right over here, 1 and 3 equals to 4. So now you add up 1 through 4. Now you add up 1 through 4, and it equals to 10. 1 plus 9 is 10, equals to 10. And this is the mirror world that we come from, where the queen and the club come together. Also noting that club is gold. And it also partakes in bronze, because bronze has the shine, the element of the shine of gold. And now I didn't want to jump off subject, but I'm right here right now. And then I'm going to say silver is like tin. And there's tin inside of bronze. The IT system in the sun. This is your crossover in the sun. You remember we were talking earlier on, I didn't want to do this. We were talking earlier on about the ace. Well, the ace gets divided. There's an ace here, and then there's an ace here. The ace divides. It divides 2 houses, the right angle and the left angle. Now, I'm just trying to keep up to myself, trying to see above what is above is below. I'm just trying to see if this is how it works. Anyways, just leave that out. So tin equals to 29, 39, 43. So tin looks like silver. Silver's number 2. And to create number 3, which is bronze, you need 1 and 2 to come together. So bronze looks like gold. And inside of bronze is tin, which looks like silver. I know it's a little like off the wall, or it seems off the wall, but that's the reality. That is the truth. This also represents 20. And it also represents that 17, the Q gate. Represents 20. 2 10s. 2 times 10. 4 times 5. Which is also can be noted as 88, because depending what equation you use, if you use the Roman numeral equation for 5, well, the V letter is the 22nd letter in the alphabet. And what's ironic is that the reverse alphabet of V does end up back to be number 5, and it stays that way. So let me just wrap up these cards here. Look at the questions. There's so many things going on. I know I mixed a few things up. I'm going to try and get back to where I think I was. I now have 104 cards in the deck. And did we go over this card thing? I'm gonna come to you, Tammy, in a minute. Here's the number 3. Here's the number 7. Here's the number 4. Do any of these cards have anything the same? Yes, the 4 corners of the 7 are like the 4 card. So we're going to get rid of 4 and keep these. The 6 card and the 7 card, 6 are the same. I'm going to get rid of the 6 card. The 5 card, nope. So we need these 3. We have the 2 card. It's like the 3 card, but we're not going to get rid of it yet. The 6 card again, the king, the queen. Just let me try and see if I can just get all these cards. And then we have the 9. So we're going to go on this side, and we're going to take the 5 and show you that there are 5 images in the 9. We no longer need the 5. Now we're going to go ahead and take the 8 out. So we're going to look at these 2 cards and compare them. So the 7 is inside the 8. We don't need the 7. We're going to get rid of the 7. We're going to keep this card. Now we're going to come up with the ace. Now I have something wrong with the light here. I'm going to have to turn off my light. It's very hard to see. Can I shut off this also? Maybe that's better. I don't know. There's a lot of light here. 1 second. I think it's from my screen. Okay. So now you see the ace, right? And we also, so let me put my cards on. I didn't want to move them. We have the ace and we have the 9. So we can see the ace is inside the 9. We're going to throw away the ace, right? And the ace is inside the 3, but we don't have the 2 anywhere. So I'm going to get rid of the ace, and I'm going to get rid of the 3. Why? Because the 9 and the 2, the IT system, make up for what the ace and the 3 are. So now we're left with these 3. And these are the cards I took out. So we're going to, let me just put this camera down, my cards down for a second. And show you that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing a card. What am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it's over here. It's got to be the 7. Okay. So we have 2 separate piles now. These 3 represent all of these. The 7 and the 6, 13, are inside number 8. So 13 and 8 is 21. The 4 is inside the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8, and the 9. So the 4 happens 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6 times the 4 happens. That's 24 for the 4. So these cards over here, we're going to add them up. We're going to add them up. I got a ton of cards here. Got a ton of cards here. Get these away. Let's see if we can add them up. 3, 4, 9, 15, and 4. 19, 26. 26. 2 times 6, 2 plus 6 equals to 12 and 8, 20 equals 2. If we multiply them all, I'm just trying to see. Oh, the first 3 cards, look at that. ACE, we have ace. We have Zion, Israel, and God. We have the ace God. A, C, E, G, O, D. The 15th letter, 1 and 5. You see the 15th letter? 1 and 3 equals to 4. 1 and 5 equals to 6. There is no 5, and there's 4 and 3 equals to 7. Is there something we can't do here? So we finished off with these 26. So obviously, the other one has to be 19, because the number of points there are between 1 and 9 is 45. So if 1 is 26, also representing dog, representing queen, reverse, queen is 62, representing game, representing B and R, noted as bear in the house of Bait, the resident spirit angel. The other thing, I think there was something in here. What can I eliminate in here now? We can eliminate the 4, because the 4 is inside the 5, 6, 7. We can eliminate the 6, Zion, Israel, 0, DC, because they all exist in each other. And we can eliminate, where's the ace? Is this the ace? We can eliminate the ace because it's inside the 5 and the 3. So now we're left over with 3 cards. 15, Mars. 15 and 19, 34 DC. So what do we have here? I got to put this down and write it out because I just can't. I don't want to guess. I want it to be exactly, so you can see it. Let me put this down for a second. Let me give myself a little bit of light and put it down here so I can write it out and show you at the same time. Okay, let me see if I can get all these cards. This one here, this one here, this one here. Hold on a second. Okay, let me write it over here. So we have the 2 and the 8 and the 9. And then we had the 1 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. Then inside of these cards, we had the 6 that was represented in the 7. We had the 4 that was represented in the 5, 6, 7. So right away, 4 in here is valued at 4, 8, 12, 16, sweet 16, right? So then we're going to take out the 4 and we're going to take out the 1 because the 1 is inside the 3 and the 5. Now, let me see if we got that. What are we going to have? We take out 1, 4, 7. We end up with 3 and 5 and 7. G, U, N. The U is 3, the G is 7, the N is 5. We also can do an alphabetical thing, but this also says 6 and 4, right? Always keep 1 out. Even, odd. 1 is the center dot. It'll never be like the other side. The center dot is not like any other. There is no center dot on this side. It only happens on 3 of the dice, on the 1, the 3, and the 5. Ace. The other side is 2, 4, 6. 6 times 4, 24 times 2 is 64. 2, 4, 6 equals 64. Did I get that right? 24, 48. 48 and 12 equaling to 60. 4, 8, 3 equals to 15. 12, 15. So right away we're looking at Mars in here. And then we're also looking at 1, 8, and 3. I'm just trying 32, 96. Wow, 66. It's in rotation, right? 1 and 5, 6, 9 and 6, 15. 1 and 5, 6. It's in rotation of Mars and the Sun. 33. 3 times 3, 9. 3 plus 3, 6. It is the percentage divided by the 7th gate in 8. All you have to do is finish it off this way. See that hourglass? Right? That hourglass that's in between, that's dividing. Also noted to be the percentage sign. If you look on your keyboard, that is on number 5. So it's the 5, the percentage sign, that divides the 6 and 9 at the 7th gate. And now you just have to let me see if I got this right. And it's like one area is going in here and the other area is going over there. And that's what your 6 and 9 ends up doing. I'm not sure if we can look at this also as the 5. And also when you do it, you see the 88, the corner of the building, 88, right? 8 and 8, 8 and 8, the dividing gate. You can have a passage. Anyways, let's continue with the cards. When we have these 3 cards left over, because we've used up the other one, our major cards will equal to what is 19, A and I. It is also going to equal to what is 144. Let's say 144.0. You know, we're looking for the 144,000 disciples. Well, in the birth of the heavens, B, H, and I. You can say it any way you want, but it's the high birth. 52. 8 and 9 create this. H and I are the same, are basically the same in looks. You can create it this way. You can create it this way. The other thing about H and I, trying to see if I can do this properly, is here is where I see the H using this bar. At the same time, do I turn it this way to create my I, or should I draw a line down this way to create my I? And remember one thing, that when you're doing something, this is half of one side. This is when it's on two sides. This is two sides. This is one side. So it's the left side or it's the right side. So we have to understand that also, right? When we talk about blue and red. And the reason for that is there's things that we can actually find online, things you can say, oh, what a coincidence, right? For blue and red, take the blue pill, take the red pill, become a Democrat, become a demolition, become a Republican, take the red, you know. By the way, Trump is number 88. So I'm going to finish off with the numbers and the cards, okay? So over here we have 19 and 144 equals 163. 613 laws of Moses, the 136 ABC creation, 1 plus 2 plus 3. There's other things I can do with this. I don't want to get into that right now. I don't have a focus on it. Also, this is noted to be time heaven, and this is man's birth. The reason for that is 28 is the numeric value for man, right? Another thing to note, there's a 29th day in February. This reflects the IT system. It happens one every 4 years that we end up with that 9th day. So we're going to have to understand what this means. 2 to the power of 3, 3 to the power of 2, and what creates your 8 and 9. 2 related to Venus, 3 related to Earth. Venus gets the dot, Earth gets the line. So where are we with this? So we did that. Here is where AI. Now this is level 1. Level 1 at 19. Level 2 at 38. Level 3 at 57. 57 is the reverse of Mars, and it says moon, but it says Heinz 57. 26 and 14 equals 40, and 9, 49, 57. And the reverse of this word is Mars, 51. The total is 108. 3-letter words equal 81. 4-letter words equal 108. And what's ironic about 81 is that in French, 81 is completely different from any other one, from any other number. 81 is not the same as any other number. It's not the same. And the reason is for that is the way they say it. They say 81, 81 in French. If you listen carefully, when they say 21, 21, 31, 41, 51, 61, and it stops. The ET numbers of 81 stops. What do I mean is when I say it, I'm using the letters ET between the 30 and the 1, the 20 and the 1. When I get to 81, I don't mention anything about ET. I go 81 in one word. So right away, I know when I'm doing certain equations, instead of saying 420, right, or 420, I'm always going to say 421. And right away, that that 421, I know I'm supposed to get 80, but now I'm getting 84. 4 times 20 is 80. 4 times 21 is 84. Now, what happens with that is that when this dice is sitting this way, you have 6 up and 14 around. The 1 is at the bottom. So that's your 80. 8 areas around this 1. Now, it's just that understanding for this. Just put it aside. You can say yes, you can say no. It's the only dot that when you drill a hole that will come out and will create an extra space. Other sides will create the extra space when you put holes in their dots, but they'll all turn out to be 5s. Before, the opposite side is 3 with the 2 already drilled out. So everything becomes a 5 and 2 sides become 7. And that'll be 20 plus 14 is 17 equals to 34. 34, 3/4, 4 over 3, 1.33, 75, 75, 57, 75, representing electric, representing the moon, and man represents the moon as into the cycles of rotation of 13 moons, in which they say the man becomes man at the age of 13, in 169 moons, in which the exact size of the monopoly using these quadrilles that I use, but I don't want to lose my place. The word for man is number 28. So man and the numeric value for man, 13 by 28, equals to 364. And that's the number of days there are for 13 moons. And Zion, Israel, 0 is that number 64, which will mathematically create 6 by 4, 24. 6 plus 4, 10 equals to 34. Again, back to the same house of DC. Where was I with this? So we did Mars. Yes. So there you go. Now 81 is the numeric value for Venus. And the difference between 81 and 108 is 3 letters, alphabet reverse. Every letter is 27. And 4 letters, alphabet reverse. 4 by 27. Did I get that right? 27 and 27, right. 4 by 27 is 108, and 3 by 27 is 81. So that's how the two come together, 18 and 81. But what we're also going to talk about is I was talking about this, and I was talking about this. This was the alphabet reverse, right? So what we're going to go on to next is that in order to create this, it's 3 by 19 is 57. Otherwise, right? Otherwise, it's 1734 DC and then 51 Mars. These are the reverses, not the reverses. This is what it is to the reverse alphabet to come up with this equation. This one is 6 and this one is 3. And it's ironic that it's in rotation of your 360 degrees, which is this letter right here. This is the 18th letter. It fits in between these two. It's funny the way it fits in between this two, and this is a 9. Just take a look that even here there's 9, but the 9th one goes in the center, or the first one goes in the center. But this is known to be area 5-1, this area over here. So does that mean Mars is in the center, crossing my heart? Let's not get into that. So over here you have Mars. At the same time, you have this. You have gold. Gold comes out in number 38. Silver comes out in 85, and bronze comes out at 80. That's what we were talking about before, right? 4 by 21 equals 84. 4 by 20 equals 280. The incomplete cube would be added up to this. I'm just trying to understand. The house divides between here and here. This represents Pluto. This represents the student in rotation in Jupiter. Jupiter 13. What's the reason for this is, don't forget, this word in French means earth. Pi means divided. T is also a gateway. J is starting with the mirror. T starting with another gateway. JT is 2030. Anyways, 28 plus 27 plus 44. This one over here, I just write it out as 99. in the cycle of man in the house of Bait, in the divided area space between night and day. 16 and 8 equals to 24. The 24-hour day is what creates your 60 and 80. Earth and Mars. The student of Pluto and Mars. See the difference between 6 and 8? The 6 is a jack. The 8 is a queen. So Mars gets the queen and Earth gets the nav. Where do I get this from? And I'm going to get back to finish the cards, is because the jack two eyes, one eye, and the hexagon helmet. Turning to the right, turning to the left, a little bit in between. Each one, here's the TV and movie camera. I just understand how these things are set up a little bit more. He holds a flower. He holds a what connects. I like to look at this and show that as an exclamation point, right? An exclamation point here, an exclamation point here. But why don't we just do this? Or how about we just connect like that? And this is located on the 1 of your keyboard. On the 1 of the telephone, there's no letters, and the 1 of the keyboard has the exclamation point. It has that dot that belongs to I and J. So you have 6 eyes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other jack, I think it's a jack of diamonds. See what happens when you're all over the place? Where's the other jack? Jack of spades. 1 eye to the, oh, I already got that. Oh, there it is. There it is. So there you go. So now you have 6 eyes. You have the jack, the queen, and the king. 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6. And that's the eyes they have. And then when you look into the deck of cards, the queen, no, I got that wrong. 8, 8, 7, 7. So the queen has all her eyes. 8. You know the dividing gate is between queen and jack because of 6 and 8. We know that in the deck of cards, both the 8, 7, and 6 are all the same. They also total 21, and there's 21 dots on the cubes with 33 void. Now I wanted to finish off with what we were talking about with these cards, right? I'm going to get another page. Even though there's so much that I tried to cover, I'm covering, I'm not. Let's see if we can do this. So we have 2, 8, and 9 to start with, and then we had 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This was 19 and 144, equaling to 163. Now if we went 190 and 1440, I want to see just what we'd have. 1630. I'm just trying to see something, because I know when we add up, when you add up 1 through 19, you end up with this number. It becomes 10 times what it is, adding up 1 through 19. And the beginning process of everything, I think, is 117 and 1, 2. And what that means is, whoa, told you there's a lot going on. What that means when I say 117 and then 1, 2, if you look at go back 17 years, go back 18 years, you'll see that the 1st and the 18th year have the same day. Today, 18 years ago, was a Saturday. It was the 23rd. So why I say 1, 2 is because you always have to go the same way you started. You have to go from here to there. Now with questions, I question this also. Should I go 1, 2 or should I go 1, 1, 2? Because from here onto this side is the same one. The ace splits and has a leg on each side with one point at the top. The same thing as a heart. The heart and the ace are the same thing. Two bubbles and one point to the heart. The heart also is represented with the J letter. Two J's come together to create it. Also, the J letter is also the 10th letter. It's the 11th card in the deck. Also represents A because J being 10, 1 plus 0 equals to 1. And we always start with AB, 1, 2. That's where we start. I have one on each side, 2. Now we got 3. Yeah, you always want to go 1, 2 because nothing, 2 to the power of 1 stays the same. 2 to the power of 2, you get the beginning. Now what we did, we're going to just write this down, right, is we took out the cards again and we left ourselves with 7 and 5 and 3. And then we left ourselves with 1 and 4 and 6. So these are the separation of your 3 cards. I'm not counting the 10 card. The 10 card is identical to itself. So we would have 24 and 10 and 24 and 11 but you don't get anything multiplying it. So 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10 and 5 and 6 equals to 11. Windows 10, Windows 11. $99, $98. 9 times 9, 81. 9 plus 9, 18. 9 times 8, 72. 9 plus 8, 17. These two come together and match, and these two come together, bringing 2 and 1 together, creating either 35 or 37. I'm not really sure which way to look at it. If they match, should I keep them the same? So I have to understand what kind of equation I'm going to create out of this. Here I'm going to create bronze, and here I'm going to create the student. And it's the student of Earth. And where do I get this from? Where did I? Oh, yeah, 7 times 7 is 49 and 14. It's a student of the sun. Let's say the suntan, because it's the reflective creation in the suntan, and it becomes J because it's 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals to J, and it's man 6 because it's on the 6th day. Once you add the 4, it goes from 6 plus 4 equals to what is 10. And then it becomes MJ because it's actually man at the age of 13, which creates the house of DC. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3. So I'm not sure if it makes any sense, if you can understand. 64 and 16, which will create 1 and 7, also create what is 80. 8 times 8, 8 plus 8, creates another 17. This becomes the bronze, which has the color of gold, and within it is tin, which has the color of silver, and ABC creating what is bronze third. So you have first, you have second, and you have third. Now, I'm not sure if you're going to do this, right? To have this end, this end. First is usually up here, right? First is on top of the totem pole, and then second and third on each side. So here you have stand. Usually you stand on 17, and then you have standard. If I should add in what is the D, you'll have standard death. First, second, third, and fourth. And note, only in fourth does TH begin, and it runs all the way to 20th. And after that, we begin again at 21st. At the same time, we have 21 dots. At the same time, the blackjack payout is 1.5 or 3 to 2. Both represents Mars and the ram, or an arm. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. So we have these. So let me see what I did here. We got that 7 by 5 is 35, 105, which is I am also representing Mars, and 15 equals to 120. 120, 201, 2160, all relevant to what is the moon. Now, if I put them all together, it'd be 42, 210, 840, 840, 840 by 3. So we're with Pluto times 3. Is this 2520? 252, 17. This is going to create 1717 inside of this. I'm just trying to see what I'm getting out of here. 4 times 21. I'm not really sure where I'm going with that. But just to note that when you get to 84, it's actually 3 times 28, which is man, right? Remember, man is 28. The number of man is 28. 328 is equal to Pluto. And when they bury you 6 feet down. So that's 3 legs, 3 men, 3 by 28, 84. It matches. But what it is it's 4 by 21 because you need 4 cubes in order to create the same 84 for the 3 moon cycle. So how many cycles do you need to create? You need to create 4 moons to complete 3 cycles. I mean, you need 4 of these to create that. So how many times a year? You have to do it for 13 times a year, right? So here will be 84 once for 3 moons, 84 twice for 3 moons, 84 3 times for 3 moons, 84 4 times for 3 moons. Now remember, every time you hit a cycle of 3, we flip over and we change something. It turns over on the 4th one. You hit 3, you change over on the 4th cycle. One of the reasons for that is because ABC, which is 1, 2, 3 equals to 6, plus 4 equals to 10J, 1 plus 0 equals to 1, same as A, except in roulette, 10 is black. In roulette, 1 is red. In roulette, 19 is red. Every second one of number 1 in roulette is black, red, black, red, black, red. So I have to interchange it the same thing. And every time I work with 3, and it turns over at 4. I work with 3, turns over at 4. Same as coming into what Wednesday does is it turns it into a new cycle, right? You ever see an auger turning? You put feed here. Hold on a second. You put feed here and feed here. The hole is over here. The auger turns in the same all the time this way, bringing the feeder into the center from both sides of the truck and dumping it off and then pumping it up. Most of the trucks are done that way. It's safer for the feed. It's safer when the dumper is up. So now we have 3 times 84. So we have how many days? We have 336 days passing 12 moons, and the cycle is complete. That is a relative to what is the female. The next one brings on the male. 336 to the female, 33, and then the 364 days is when the 13th moon comes out for the male. The male, the bat mitzvah, the bar mitzvah, the king and the queen. So the queen, the female, gets 8, and the king gets 7. 7 and 8 are G and H. When you have the heavens, you bring in the birth. When you have 8, you're bringing in 9. You know what? When it comes to gambling, it doesn't matter what scenario you come out. Whatever's coming down on the board, you have to watch the croupier. You have to see if the croupier is running and if you get the feel for it. And you just have to play your sections, and you just have to have proper money management. And the minute they start changing these croupiers, everything changes. So if you can keep up to them, then that's the only way to get it. And don't forget, you make a score, you got to run until that rhythm comes back, because there's a rhythm within your own body. There's a vibration, and you feel it. That means when I say it, you can feel it. You can feel what the croupier is doing. You can see how what their sequences are if you can read it. If you can't read it, then how would you know what sequence to follow? And that's why those, I believe, that are behind with the pit bosses, they see what's going on. They know all about this. But you know what? I thought I was going to mix up my cards, and then I noticed one was a red deck, one was they're upside down or whatever. One is red, one is, so I'm not going to get them really mixed up. You take a look, right? All the opposite of this board, 22's on this side. I think, I don't remember if it's this board or the other board, where all the opposites total 37. I'm not sure if this is 22 and 16. 22 opposite of, let me see if it works the same way. 16 and 22 is 38. 21 and 17 is 38. 6 and 35. Where's 35? 6 and... how come I don't see it? There it is. No, not the same side. Anyways, I'm not going to get into that. Yes, it'll always lead to more questions. I've been on this 18 years, and all I was told at the beginning was, don't stop. See the truth in what you do. Doesn't matter if you make any mistakes. See the truth in what you do. Understand it for the truth. Just don't believe. Prove it to yourself. What would other people say? So I looked in the alphabet, and I saw the letter A. And I asked somebody, I says, what letter is that? They said A. And I asked 10 people. They all said the same thing. It's all A. And I says, is that the first letter in the alphabet? I says, yeah. I says, Z, the last letter in the alphabet? They go, yeah. I go, what letter is M? And they go and they count. They say the 13th letter. And I go, okay, I'm going to use the same system that everybody else uses. Did you know that in baseball and Sunday say the same thing in French? Sunday is dimanche, and dimanche in French means the 10th inning. As well, it's 5 people, because manche is a sleeve, and when you have 10 sleeves, 2 sleeves per person, even if the person's missing an arm, you got 5 people. 6 feet down, you got 3 people. 10th inning, you got 5 people. Home and away. Visitors, Mars. Home equals to number 41. 41 is also king, and it also represents DNA and in the sun. Must be in the sun. Mars is part of the moon connecting to those who are in the sun. Then Jupiter explains how it creates a numeric value for the resident angel, and Venus. At the same time, number 13 tells me we're in time heaven, born onto what is resident angel at birth. 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 is 18 and 9, creating that. 3 times 6, 18 and 9 equals 27, telling me I'm in the house of Bet, B-E-I-T, the IT system born unto the sun, in the divided gates. Because in order to get IT, right, like in tin, to become third in silver, which third is 1 and 2 equals to 3, using the tin for the shining light of the silver to the color of the shining light of the silver, looking like gold. The pliable mind of creation. You know what? There might be ways, there might be ways, but you have to get that feeling. Where I'm going to get something to drink. I'm going to just come back and see where we stand with this. There's a few other things I wanted to talk about. There were some short videos I did today. Just give me a minute. You good? Yeah. You're good? You're good? Hmm? Yeah? You're so soft. You're so soft. You want to come? You want to come? We can go on. You know? No? Talking to my kitty. I'm trying to see if we can see her. Where is she? Where is she? There she is. Hey, kitty. Okay. Let me see where we are in the video now. We spoke about the copper, tin. There was another thing. Yes, yes. The penny and the nickel. The penny being 1, we're going to relate that to the letter A. Since we're relating the penny to the letter A, the inside what is 5, okay, is going to be the penny. The 5 cent is made up with a penny and 4 cents together. So that's the letter E. But since we have this, there would be a question, is this going to be now part of Earth? Because we have the 9 areas. We cannot draw a straight line down here. We need to use 2 lines. Earth is that 2 lines. Mars is 1 line. So Mars is either here, or are we going to draw a line across? Because you're allowed to draw lines corner to corner or on the line, but you can't go in between. If you go in between, you got to go 45 degree that way, that way, that way. And that's going to represent the queen. And one of the reasons I look at it that way is because the slanted hat for the queen to where the king and the jack both have hexagon hats. But it's not hexagon hats. This can be a pentagram. This can be part of an octagon, right? This can be 8. This can be 6. This can be the bottom part of 5 because they all create the same shape. Trying to see. So yes. So when I look at this, A and E, the 1 cent and the 5 cent, I'm now going to look at the 1 cent of Mars and the 5 cent of Earth. That's what I'm thinking. So the penny, which looks like copper, which shines like gold, and the nickel is the silver, which is like tin, which is like bronze. So Earth gets the E, Mars gets the A for the male, for man, male, and then FE for female. So it seems like female comes to Earth and male goes to Mars. Earth starts with an E, Mars' second vowel is an A. Earth gets 1 moon, Mars has 2 moons. So I'd have to understand the E for female and Earth. Females only get 1 moon, Mars is getting 2 moons. Okay, let me see where else we're going. It's getting a little late. Yes, I also went over this piece today where 10 is actually 10 and 10 equals to 20, or X or XX for 20 equaling to 48 equals to the sun. 10 plus 10, 10 times 10 equals 100, or C. So what you have is sex equaling to 47, numeric value for time. 7 by 4, 28, the numeric value for man. And 7 and 4 is 11, which is your base creation of C. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is what's going to create your 3, 1 and 2, which will also create the E for Earth. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2. At the same time, it becomes 366, like in the leap year, we have 366 days. There was one other thing. I'm trying to remember what it was inside of this. Yes, it creates the dividing gate. The 1010 creates the dividing gate inside the moon. I'm trying to see exactly where I saw that moon part. Besides number 19 is that moon. 3 by 19 is 57 moon. 57 will create 47. 5 times 7, 5 plus 7 equals 12, and 35 equaling to 47. There was something else 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals 86. I'm just trying to see where I'm going with this. If I put 10 and 10 together, I write 10, and then I write 10. Now it looks like 18. Was it done this way? I don't know. I'm just showing you the possibilities of that reality. Another thing about 10, Angel is number 39. Saturn is number 93. 9 and 3 is 12. 27 and 12 equals to 39. 9 and 3, back to the same number again. Then this one will create this. 1 and 4 equals to 5 and 9, and 5 and 9 are the polars of each other on a cube. 6 and 3 and 41. So what is 63? Born into the sun? It says home, king. And then you can do it again on 54, which is 32. And when you put them together, arm, Mars. 2 and 6 come together. Sorry, 7 and 6 come together. 13 comes together right here. When you're inside the sun and when you have the passage or the front lines, where does this come from? It's what's not there. There are 7 areas that are all associated in the white, and there are 6 areas, and the 6 areas is divided. The 6 is divided, noted as Mars. The 7 areas over here in the white is noted to be Earth. 7 and 6. 67 is the soul. 67 is water. 6 and 7 is 13. 6 times 7, 42, and 13 gives you your freedom 55 and electric company because of the math. Where is the math? 6 times 7 is 42 and 13 equals to 55, which equals to 25 and 10 equaling to 35, which equals to what is 15 and 8 equals to 23, what equals to 6 and 5, okay, which is equal to 41, which will then equal to 5 and 4, and then 20 and 9. So even if I go the other way, 13 minus 42 equals 29. 13. (42 minus 13 equals 29). So it doesn't matter which way I go, the equation will come out to this. And this is your IT system. So that's that little scenario. Let me see. I made a mistake here earlier on in the day. Let me see. Yeah, it was right here. I knew I made that mistake. Very bad. So the difference between the Queen of Spades and the Queen of Hearts, this will create Q. There's a difference of 10, showing right away the mirror. Okay. It's also 7 and 8, which is a gate. Here it's 7 and 9. There's a birth into the IT system, 45 and 52. Together, these two make 97. This is 9, this is 7. So you have 107 over here, representing 20. I think it also, what it represents, I forget which other word it represents. It also represents the Q gate, where this is 104, 52 and 52. Communication, 10-4. Roger, I hear you. That's what this total equals with the heart. With the club, it equals to 100. The club is number 38. The club is where the gold comes in. Yes, I did this already. Just something base. We're just going to end the video very soon. This is base Monday through Sunday, and then the first day of the week, the second, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and then the 8th. And the reason we come to the 8th day of the week, right, is once you finish the 7th day, just like going 1 and 2, you also have to do 7, 8, and 9, because you have to come back to 1 and 2. There's no beginning until 1 gets to 2, gets to 3, putting 1 behind it, like hop and jump, odd and even, hop, odd and even. Anyways, when we get to over here, you get to 36, just like 360 degrees, and it doesn't happen to over here. And when you look at this, the queen ends up on day 5. The moon and connection to man ends up on day 4. Where did I see this? Why 31, 3 and 1? Hold on a second. 9 and 5, 8 and 4, 7 and 3, 6 and 2. Sorry, this is where Mars comes in. Just give me a second. There's something I did here. Trying to figure out how what I did. 32. Okay, yes. Yes. And this is also 1, 0. What this means is I went to 31 days in the month, and then I started the next month. So I'd be 1 day over in the next month. So what this means is if one of the months ends in a 30, I'll only be going past the month by 2. But I think I'm going to eliminate that. It's too much for now. But I just want to note that when you get to this, the 4th day over here, that is automatically noted to be the 1st or 2nd day of the next month. So number 4 would get to the 1st or the 2nd day of the next month. So right away, even running again with number 3s, number 3 ends at 31. 3, 10, 17, 24, 31. So again, there's a split between this one and this one over here. So that's that. Let me get that out of the way. There's just so much. Again, we were talking about copper and gold. I'm just trying to see what this is. Yes, man is 13. So when you have man twice, 26. So what is this? When you multiply it and add it, it ends up to be 19. This ends up to be 20. That's where S and T comes together. You know, like in first and last? Well, guess what? It shows gateway. G and H comes together for Mars. 39 and 15. Mars shows up with the angels. 6 and 3. Again, the 360-degree rotation. We did that. We did the cards. What's going on over here is not very much. I was just counting the days of the week, right? Just give me a second. No, in this one, I'm just doing sequences. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, right? So I'm just adding up by 4s. And then if you notice, it becomes 4, 8, 3, 7, 2, 6, 1, 5, 9, 4. So on the 10th one, it starts over again, but I'm showing you the level of numbers. In number 4, where Mars, the house divides. Zion, Israel. Number 3 is relevant. You're dividing night and day. Again, you're dividing the house. You arrive at Pluto. You arrive at Bronze, which connects to Pluto. You connected the dividing gate. You connected birth, rotation, and the sun, communication. And then here the moon shows up. And between 6 days and 7 days, this is your 7-day week. 28 is your 6-day week. When man is created, it equals to 168. There are 168 hours in a week. When you get to the 7th day, it becomes 24 hours for 168. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals to what is 8 is 6. 6 and 8 is your dividing gate, 14. And when you go around this dice, it's 14 added. So you get that. Now, when we get that, I do number 3, and here's number 3. You get the resident angel, you get the house of bait, you get the dots, you get creation, you get angels, you get fox and the sun, you get Mars, you get the sun, and you get the moon in all 3. Do we get anything over here? Not one of them. You get Earth with Mars. You get electric company and the moon. You get the female, you get rotation, you get the student, you get the dividing gate, you get Saturn in rotation of the sun, and in creation, what creates from 33, 99. 3 by 33 is that 99. Valentine's, 111 divides all the numbers. When you add up 1 to 36, right, the dividing numbers are 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It equals to a total of 111. But the total 1 through 36 equals to 666. So the actual division of 360, right? First of all, if we're dividing the alphabet, it'll be A6M, A6Z31 when you're reorganizing the alphabet. So 1 through 5 and 32 through 36 are blocked. So when you're shifting here to get your center here, you need to get the 333, which, if I understand correctly, you're going to get to number 25. If you add up 1 through 25, you'll end up with 326. Did I get that right? Let me see. Then 26. Hold on a second. Just give me 1 second. 325. Then when you add the 26, it equals to 351. So if I wanted to get the center of this, I need to remove 8 from this in order to get the center of 666. So I would have to shift the numbers in order to get the total of the halfway point. I'm just trying to figure it out just now. So that would be 333 minus, and then plus. It'd be 55 and 56 in order to create 111. No, you don't create 111. I got to create 333, 333 to connect your 666. Anyways, I'm a little bit mixed up on what the answer is to that. So it doesn't really matter right now. The other thing I wanted to talk about, hold on, let me see, did I get this right? Is Monday throughout the year, and I didn't complete it. These are all the numbers that go at Monday. These are the numbers that go at Tuesday. Well, let's not say Monday. I'm using Sunday as the first day of the week, but you don't have to, because if we're working with 6 and 1 day, or are we working with 2 and 5 days, or are we working with 3, 1, and 3 days, or 3 days and 4 days, and the heart is on one side. So you work with 3 days and 4 days. Let's play sports, and they call it the best of 7, right? So you always have to leave the heart to the winner, and the other one becomes the runner-up, right? When you play sports. What I mean by 1 and 6, right? Not only is it 1 and 6 for the touchdown and the extra point, it's also the 6th day of the weeks to the 1 day of rest on the Saturday. Or what you're going to do is you're going to get the 5-day work week with the 2-day weekend. You're connecting the Saturday and the Sunday. Or you're going to be splitting up the week between 3 days and 4 days, one that runs with and without the heart. The 3 days runs with the heart, the 4 days does not. But it seems like the 4 days has to run with the heart. I don't know why it says no, unless the heart is on this side and it's like the omega and it skips over it. Anyways, I'm just trying to think where that can be. And then the last piece I wanted to talk about is the penny, the nickel, the dime, the quarter, and 50 cents. 15175. So it's telling me Mars, it's telling me about the moon, electric company, and AI. The $1, the $2, the 5, the 10, the 20, and the 50. So you have 3, 8, 18, 28, 38. You have 88. You have $88. And here you have 75, 85, 75, 85, 90, 91. You have 88 and 91, the spirit with the dividing gate. Here it's 1, and here it's 7. So in our money, it's already showing the gate. And until you have above $1, right, you don't have any more, but you have less. If you go to increase an image and put any one of these numbers, the image will be smaller. If you put this one, there will be no change. If you put this one, it'll be 2 times the size. If you put this one, it'll be 5 times the size of what it was. Anyways, Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. If there's any game out there like Foosball came out the other day, that was pretty interesting. Conscience and Memory. They played 2 halves of 45 minutes. And time for the bed. And I know in Arizona it's 10 o'clock at night. So good luck and peace. Anybody can help the channel out, that would be just fantastic. Anybody has any ideas, wants to share something with me, that's fantastic. We're getting smarter and smarter. The truth is coming out, and our collective consciousness will open up even more. As the polars melt, as the computers get stronger, melting the polars, automatically rejuvenating all that is. It's almost like your computer, in order to cool your computer, you need cold. So that's what the Arctic is for, I believe. And you cool everything there. You need cold for the computers. Otherwise, they shut down. Why do we need holidays? Why do we call holidays of certain names? Just like things that are in the river. If you don't pick things out of the river, they create a dam. If you don't pick up the information, it blocks up. The same thing for the speed of your computer. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. I can just coordinate the orchestra, but those who know their domain, the zodiac, etc., their own domain, we can work this out together and share conscience. Thank you for watching this video. Good night.